Hallo liebe Triathlon-Freunde, ich bin der René aus Leipzig, habe mich in Klagenfurt qualifiziert und bin jetzt in Nizza, starte in 2-3 Tagen bei der WM. Ist ein Highlight meiner ganzen Karriere und ich bin jeden Tag ein bisschen mehr aufgeregt und bin guter Dinge.
So, liebe Triathlon-Freunde, wir sind auf der Ironman Expo, denn große Rennen bedeuten natürlich auch immer, es gibt ab und zu mal ein paar neue Spielzeuge für die Stars und einer davon steht hier bei mir und mit dem möchte ich über sein neues Rad reden, über die BMC Speedmachine. Kristian Høgenhaug, your new bike, how excited are you?
Very excited. This time new colors for this race. I rode it in Ironman Hamburg as well, and that was really nice bike ride I had there. So just looking forward to do it justice on Sunday on a much tougher course.
What was your first impression when you got the bike, when you saw it, or even if during the development?
The thing is, like with triathlon bikes, you always try to make them even more aero, and I think at some point you kind of max out on that. So what really surprised me about this one was like you could feel it immediately when you jump on it, and it was like it's so responsive, and like the way it corners, it's much more like a road bike. And I think that what a lot of TT bikes lack is that like responsiveness and good handling, because all TT bikes are good at like riding a straight line, right? But so especially for this course, it's I'm very glad I have this bike.
So is it the mix between going straight and having this responsiveness?
Yeah, exactly, for the uphills and also like the going downhill, and then also of course you want a really stable bike when you're going also like on fast sections, because you can opt for a like even deeper front wheel if you have like feel very safe and stable on the road. So that's also what I've chosen to do on this race.
Would you say that that's the biggest difference to your previous bike?
Yeah, and then also the weight. I think they shaved a little over 1 kilo of the former bike, so on a course with a lot of elevation, that's also a huge plus. So for me, it's like this bike is almost made for this course, because it has all the things you really want for technical and course and with a lot of elevation. So good cornering, even lighter, and even more aero also as well.
So maybe we can have a look on the details. What's new and what's your choice maybe? So let's start at the front. I had a look on your cockpit and I saw the pads are as narrow as they can be.
Yeah, I want those forearms to touch each other. So for this one, while I'm waiting for a custom 3D printed spacers, I've opted for some watch shops to get me a little more in front of the bike to get more reach, also to get more aero, to be a little longer. And then I've moved they also moved together, so I get a little bit more narrow. So my forearms will be touching each other, kind of close the gap. And then I have some new profile design extensions in carbon as well, for lightweight as well. And then also the handlebars I've chosen also has a little more reach, so that also brings me even further to the front. So I really want to be like kind of stretched out when I'm sitting on the bike.
It looks like a little trend there. All the pros want to sit longer now.
Yeah, we don't have like all the rules and regulations they have in biking, so we can really max out in what's like the most aero position, and for a lot of people it's to be long and narrow.
And do you like it to be really, that's what's my impression of these extensions, that you're quite locked into this position. Is that what you like?
Yeah, also with the high sides on these cups, I can really like push out with my elbows, which kind of shrugs my shoulders up into my ears, and because I think when you relax, your shoulders kind of get very wide, right? So if you kind of stretch it in, you get a lot more narrow. So it's all those like small details, and as you said, also with the grip on the handlebars, I'm kind of locked in the position, but for me it's a very comfortable position, so I don't have to like move around in it.
Yeah. So obviously we can see a straw here, so let's talk about the hydration system. There's quite a lot of space in it.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a 1.2 liter bladder, which is refillable, and yeah, the straw comes up through the bike, and then I have access up to it here. I have a magnet which I can attach it to, and yeah, again for aero purposes, I want the straw to sit in between the arms and be relatively short, so it's not flapping around, interrupting all the wind flow. And yeah, it's a nice option because it's built in for the bike. Most of the time, when you put a bottle on the bike, the bottle is not meant to be there, or at least that's not how they originally designed the bike. But this is designed with the hydration purpose, so it's actually even more aero with the hydration box on.
And how do you get your carbs on the bike, or do you have it all in there and no water? I expect that there must be a solution.
Yeah. So behind this saddle, I have a place for a bottle, which I'll use as a backup also to refill this. And then, yeah, a bit more controversial, I will be riding with a camelback or a bottle down the chute for the convenience. I can't drop it, so I'll always have my nutrition with me, and also, yeah, for the aero purposes, which I guess is no secret anymore.
And I saw in the pictures that there should be space here for spare parts and something. You made the decision not to use it?
Yeah, so I'm still a bit in doubt, because on this course I think weight also plays a role. So maybe I'll tuck a little piece of what do you call it, like tubes and stuff like that into the suit, and then hide it there, and then save. It's only 180 grams for the box, but when on this course where aero isn't everything, weight is also something, then I have opted to save a little weight where I can.
So let's talk about gearing. That's quite a big chainring. How many teeth?
Yeah, so I have a 56 and a 44. There's a lot of places where you can go like even faster than 60k per hour, and a lot of like rolling flats. And there you really want a big chain ring, not so you don't get any like cross chaining on behind. Also, yeah, that's more economical. And then, like the climb are so long, at least I think that. So I also opted for the smaller 50 or 44 to have like so I don't have to like do like a very big gear on the climb. So. Yeah,
so to keep the cadence up, and I heard before that it's not the final decision maybe about the cassette.
Yeah, I'm still a bit in doubt. Right now I have like it's a very good cassette for like very flat courses, but I also have the panic gear with the 28. Yeah. But right now it's 2810. But I have a different cassette back at home, which I'm considering putting on, because there is some pretty steep ramps that goes up to like well above 10%, and like you can either choose to attack those sections on the bike course, but that also requires a lot of power for a short period of time. And whether you want to do that like after 1.5 hours of racing in an 8-hour race is something I'm still debating a little bit. Yeah.
And what about the Discwear?
Yeah, so disc is almost always faster, and especially on this course, I think aerodynamics still plays a pretty big role. Also, maybe some people compare it with the 70.3 that was the World's Championship here in 2019, but that was almost like a completely uphill and then a downhill. Here we have like a third of the course is on a pretty flat section, so aerodynamics also play a huge part.
So let's talk about the long descent you have there. Do you were with the bike on the course and tried it out there?
Yeah, so and also lucky enough to I did this race 2 months ago just to see the bike course at Ironman France, and like my first impressions of the downhill back then was it's actually not like a technical downhill, but what makes it technical is that you have to go crazy fast, and especially when there's a world title on the line. And if you look at the times that Rudi van Berg has done earlier in the 70.3 world, for example, like you really need to push power even on the downhill, and that's what makes it difficult, because some corners you don't know what's on the other side, so you have to know it, whether you can carry speed or not when you have to hit the brakes. And yeah, having done a lot of recon, there is not a lot of times you have to hit the brakes, because that is lost time. So that's really what makes it difficult, the high speed that you can carry down the descent. So yeah.
I heard the bike costs around 17,000 euro. How lucky are you that you're the guy? Yeah, that's what you need for work.
Yeah, I'm a very lucky guy. I have the best team supporting me, and also, yeah, getting to ride such a nice looking and fast machine is that's very nice. Just being on the start line and know you have like the best equipment is a little comforting.
So let's talk a little bit about the race. What do you expect? How will it develop?
Yeah, so I actually given much thought to this, and still haven't come up with quite the solution yet, or the script, because I think people can really break on different parts of the course. The first uphill takes around like 50 minutes, 45 minutes. And if you go too hard there, you'll lack the power on the last parts of on the bike. But I still think a move will be made on the first climb. And also, as you said to me earlier, that maybe even on the first two very steep sections, which is maybe 400 or 500 meters with 10 to 14%, maybe people will attack there. But yeah, and then I think people underestimate that, okay, the run is flat and stuff like that, but I have first-hand experience with that if you get on the run course and you have emptied your tank, it doesn't matter that the run is flat, it's going to be pretty tough anyway. So, but I think on the first climb, people really want to be in a group on the top, because it's the first time in the race you'll ever get like the pack dynamics on the flat section, because you can maybe save 10 or 20 watts sitting in the back of a pack. And so I think a lot of people will burn a lot of matches to stay in a group on the first uphill, but that is also where the groups will be made. Yeah.
So we are really looking forward to Sunday. Thank you, Kristian, and good luck for your race.
Thank you a lot. Thank you.